in St. Louis at a big event. And the bowlers from Wichita State have had quite an impact on the PBA Tour. Chris Barnes, Lonnie Walchek, we'll see them in a moment on the Skills Challenge. Patrick Healy Jr. won his Tournament of Champions major last year, and Rich Steelsmith, 18 years on tour. All four of those bowlers, the coaches tell us, are very heavily involved with the Wichita State program, especially Walchek and Steelsmith, who live here in town. Well, last week we saw Brian Kretzer defeat Walter A. Williams Jr. in the Miller High Life Skills Challenge. The round of 16 continues today. Remember, the first bowler to outskill his opponent 3 times gets 3 strikes on the scoreboard and advances to the round of 8. We are ready for this week's Miller High Life Skills Challenge. Lonnie Walchek from Wichita State University. And another Wheat Shocker alum, Chris Barnes, with 5 career titles, go head-to-head. We see the numbers, 7 combined championships, but no majors yet for these 2 young stars.
It'll be certainly very entertaining. Both guys, a lot of trick shots in their arsenal.
Here's the first, 4-6 split, 2 balls, 1 hand, Lonnie Walchek. Looking good. Oh, he covers nicely. Hits the pins flush.
And you wonder why I only gave it an 8.5 rating. Well, that's still a pretty tough rating, but as you can see, Lonnie Walchek makes this look easy.
Chris Barnes got to respond now. Lonnie likes it. If Barnes misses, it's 1 strike to none. First player to 3 strikes wins the competition. Got a Miller High Life spare ball in there, and he celebrates a nice cover himself. He matches.
I mean, he makes this look like butter. Very smooth, covers both pins perfectly. He's like, what a piece of cake. And Lonnie, game on.
Now it's Barnes. 3, 4, 6, 7, 10 split.
I think a little better go at this one.
Not an easy shot. Oh, he covers nicely all the way across the pin deck to take out the 4 and the 7.
Now this looks real intimidating, but it's not that tough. All you got to do really is convert the baby split to 3-10. Get the ball to the right of the 3-pin, throw it over into the 4-7. Nicely done.
So Randy, Lonnie Walchek has got to answer now, or he's down 1 strike to none. 3, 4, 6, 7, 10. And Lonnie needs it. Starts way left. Didn't get it. 4-7 stands, and Chris Barnes takes the lead. 1 strike to none.
Somewhere around here.
Moving right along. How about this, Randy? Left-handed.
Stand on the big dot, because, well, that's where all the left-handers stand. So.
And a 7.8 Randy rating. For a southpaw shot, it's pretty tough.
It's got to hook a lot.
Chris, it sure does, and he's got it. Great shot, Chris Barnes.
Chris obviously practicing a little bit left-handed during the offseason. Watch, this is a great shot. Not only do you have to throw it left-handed, you have to hook it, and the ball is going to just barely catch the head pin, ricochets off into
That was the big dot, right?
Stand on the big dot. Yeah,
It was the big dot.
Yeah, you get too far right of that, you'll trip.
Anything that works from Chris Barnes.
Come on, Billy.
In terms of intimidation. So now Lonnie's got to answer, or he's down 2 strikes to none. Lefty release. It's hooking. Oh! Somehow it misses the head pin. And a second strike indeed for Chris Barnes. It's 2-0. 1 more strike and he wins the competition.
Lonnie almost converts, but he had to catch a piece of the head pin. Just barely misses it. Now he's behind the 8 ball, down 0-2.
Okay.
I think it's got to go like.
Now the 8 pin is standing here. 2, 3, 8, 9 split. Rarely see this in a PBA Tour event. Whoa, he's got it. Perfect location. Throwing the spare ball with a little bit of hook there.
Yeah, you'll never see this leave from a professional, and I've never seen this thing made before. Chris Barnes takes a ball that doesn't hook and tries to fit it right in between the 2 and the 3, and he covers the 8 and the 9 perfectly.
Great lane level look at it. Coming right at you. Perfect conversion. So now Lonnie needs this or he loses the competition. 3 strikes to none. To stay alive, Lonnie Walchek. No. chops the 3-9, and that'll do it. Chris Barnes takes the competition.
That one time. So.
3 strikes to none. He advances to the round of 8. Join us next week. Robert Smith takes on Tony Reyes for the PBA Denver Open. Tune in to see who has the greatest skills in the Miller High Life PBA Skills Challenge. Where did Rick Lawrence win his first career PBA title? Right here, North Rock Lanes, Wichita, Kansas. We'll hear from Rick and Jason Hurd. An interview with Randy Peterson coming up next.
Looking to stay unbeaten, Jason Hurd looking to get off the schneid.
That they are, guys. Thank you for your time. Dick Weber, all-time PBA leader, back-to-back wins. Trey Williams Jr. had a chance last week, but lost this guy, Rick Lawrence. From the Dallas Metroplex, Salina, Texas. And what an unbelievable story this guy is. He barely made the exempt tour with double points. A great performance last year at the World Championship. And then wins last week to earn next year's exemption. Yes, he will remember that path to the pocket.
Picking up right where he left off last week. 10 in the pit for the unassuming Rick Lawrence.
Just calm as can be, as you mentioned in the interview. Jason Hurd has had his issues, folks, with nerves on television. Big struggles. Not there. Excellent start for the Floridian from Titusville on the Atlantic coast side, south of Daytona. A real deal matchup, Randy.
Real tight matchup. As you can see, the average is very, very close. Strike percentage. Remember we talked about in the other Baby Ruth, the spare conversion percentage. Both guys over 80%. Real tight matchup on paper. However, I think advantage has to go to Rick Lawrence because of one thing and one thing only: momentum.
Who will keep the momentum going is the question now. The early going. 2 perfect shots. We saw Hurd's TV record, but just 2 singles wins ever in his career on television. His title was a doubles championship.
I think the only thing that Jason Hurd needs to do to win out here is get off to a quick start, have a little bit of area on the lane so he can get loose. Once this guy gets loose, this guy's a striking machine.
227.80 average to get here to another TV show for Rick Lawrence. Beat Steve Wilson in 6 games in the round of 8. That's a little bit high. The 2-pin up for the lefty. Now, a difference in approach, as Rick mentioned to us last night. He was one of 2 lefties last week with Jason Couch in the show, too. Now he's the only southpaw. Yeah, and a lot different angle for him this week. You know, Rick is a down-and-in player, likes to go real straight and keep the ball in line. But he told us last night that he has to create a little bit of angle. That shot there, he did not. He got it in, and the ball did not hold to the pocket. Takes care of his mark. Last week, different oil pattern. He said he went right at that head pin in St. Louis. He's going to go out further to the left this week, but not too much. That's that level of experimentation now. There's already been 1 match ahead of you, but no lefties. You saw Danny Wiseman, a master technician of lane breakdowns and ball reaction, just completely shocked, flummoxed.
What? What does that mean?
Really surprised.
Oh.
No late help on the 3.
Dave, remember, small words for your partner, Randy. And right now, Rick Lawrence looks like he's got a little bit of the Danny Wiseman, that in-between type of stuff. You know, Danny couldn't go straight enough, and he couldn't hook it enough. Mike Edwards could go straight enough. Jason Hurd certainly can hook it enough. Rick Lawrence looks early on to be in that same in-between zone.
Takes care of number 3. And another mark for Rick Lawrence. Big time here for Jason Hurd. Strike while the fire's hot. Chance for the turkey ball. 11-pin lead. Can go up 21 with a strike. Can he overcome his TV woes? Big storyline for Jason Hurd. He was so happy that, speaking of us, the last show he made in Cleveland, he had to go way right, a few boards right along that channel. Had a gutter ball here with this oil pattern. He can play further in, and we see the match play record for Jason Hurd getting here. 229.14 average. Good week for him.
Yeah, you're exactly right about what you're talking about in terms of how he's playing the lanes. As you see, look what he did to Chris Barnes. I mean, one of the local favorites, and he just blows him out of the water 4-0. But right now, Jason Hurd is playing the lanes the way he feels most comfortable playing them.
Big difference from his last TV show a couple weeks back. Just like that, 10 pin. Down she goes. Messenger all the way across the deck, and it takes out number 10.
Headpin's going to go to the sidewall. Jason Hurd working on a three-bagger. Here comes the headpin. Get out of my face. Give me 4 in a row.
Come on.
He's down 31 pins. Here's Rick Lawrence. Works on a spare here. He's got to get some strikes going, folks, in a hurry, or he's going to get blown out of this match. Rick's been steady. 7 pin. Will not get knocked down late. While we have a moment, very special happy birthday wish to our producer Mike Ross' little girl back in New Jersey, Chloe. Happy birthday, Chloe, 6 years old.
They're all watching the show right now. They're having a big bowling birthday party watching the show. Happy birthday, Chloe.
Bird's eye view at that 7 pin, and down it goes for Rick Lawrence. He's speaking of family. His wife, Gail, 25 years, is here. His son, Matt, his daughter, Kayla, are homeschooled and stay with him. There is Gail, also daughters Elena and Ashley, his grandson, Jesus. Big family get together. Now, Gail was on a skiing trip with the 2 younger kids in Winter Park, Colorado, and drove all the way back when they found out that, guess what? Back-to-back weeks, Rick's on the show again. Big shot.
There you go.
And they're glad they left the slopes of the Rockies.
Yeah, already spending all that cash Dad made last week. You see how that ball there, Dave? The 4-pin went to the wall and drove the 7 out. The shot before that, he left the weak 7. He's got to find a way to get the ball to roll up harder into the pocket. A guy who knows a lot about that, well, you're looking at him. Here he comes right at you.
Looks for a 5-back. 4-pin. That was a chance to take a big lead.
Wow. Right over the 5th arrow. He's playing 25 already. There's only been 2 games bowled, this being the 2nd. So really a game and a half plus 15 minutes of practice. But again, playing to his strength, the deep inside line.
Up 31 pins now. Takes care of the mark.
Dave, I got to tell you, last night when Jason Hurd told us that he thought it was a huge advantage for him today not being in the first match, coming out of the second match, he had time to regroup, kind of catch his breath, and not be overwhelmed by the moment.
NFL football is coming your way on Sunday night here on ESPN. That's tonight, Raiders-Broncos. Big matchup as the Raiders have really been struggling offensively, trying to get things going. It is tonight. That ball is way off the mark.
Bad shot.
Well, this is the 3rd time we've seen this action. Or actually the 4th time. The other time was a washout by Danny Wiseman. Flag the old headpin. You heard Jason say it was a bad shot. If you miss it at the bottom, you get it going right quick with no hand, no revolutions. Guess what? It's not getting back.
Does take care of the mark. Another headpin left up there. The lead shrinks to 28 pins. It's not over for Rick Lawrence. Trying to make some more history here in Wichita. We look back to the 1993 Wichita Open, July of that year. Hall of Famers David Ozio won 11 titles in his career, and Mike Aubie battled it out. What a slugfest this was. The title match saw only one 7-pin right there in 20 frames of bowling. It was up to Mike Albee, though, who won 27 times on tour. He came through in the clutch, sealing the victory with his first ball in the 10th, followed by 2 more strikes. Albee trying to become just the second bowler to have that perfect game in a title match on TV. And he would, defeating Ozio 300 to 279. And is brought to you by Odor Ears with unique Zorbatex technology. Destroys foot odor and absorbs sweat on contact. By Geico, you too could save 15% or more on car insurance. Call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Uniroyal Tires, the official tire of the PBA Tour. Uniroyal Tires, trusted by American families since 1892. 28-pin lead. Jason Hurd over Rick Lawrence. Semifinal number 2 to see who faces Mike Edwards. He defeated Danny Wiseman in the first semifinal. Edwards already to the championship match. For Jason, it's all about timing and baby steps. Randy breaks down Jason Hurd's unusual style in this week's Dexter Approach.
Thank you, Dave. It's really only one baby step, and I'm going to show that to you in a minute. But look at the powerful 6.5-step approach of Jason Hurd. I want to show you something. It's called this pivot step. Notice how all the steps are pretty equal in size until that one. Check out the size of his pivot step. The step before the slide that gets him to the foul line in front of the bowling ball. There's the load. And watch him just unload on it at the bottom of the swing, creating all that striking power.
Will can try to continue his excellence here in this semifinal match with Rick Lawrence. Down by 28 pins, but is working on a strike, so can reduce it to 18. He'll start off this match with 4 straight strikes. There's Bill Makula from Pepsi. Thanks to him for all of his help in sponsoring this great event from Wichita. That came off the hand really strangely. Down lane further. Loft than he probably wanted and way high.
I think he lofted it that far on purpose. The last shot on that lane went high, and he's trying to get that thing to push down the lane, and it's just not going to happen. He kind of has a reaction I'm real familiar with, afraid to throw it an inch to the left. For me, it'd be an inch to the right.
2-4-7 up for Rick now. That would have really helped things out. Could have reduced the deficit by 10 pins, working on a strike, but instead, look out, leaves the 7. A disastrous open frame at this point of the match could really hurt his chances. And look at that deficit expanding to 40. Great year for both bowlers, certainly. Rick Lawrence, look at that. Win percentage in match play so far on the PBA Tour. This is our 5th event. Jason Hurd not far behind him. So 1-2 in this semifinal. On that list, Hurd has had a wonderful season. Help for number 8. No, it will not go down.
And Rick Lawrence in a whole heap of trouble right about now. Struggling to get his ball to the pocket. Jason Hurd, big lead, 40 pins.
Jason Hurd, folks, 4th on the PBA points list, 5th in average, 7th in tour strike percentage. He has just had a tremendous year. Very consistent, but still looking for his first ever singles title. 8-pin down for Lawrence. Lives on the Atlantic coast of Florida, as we mentioned, big fisherman. Fresh and salt water. Loves to spend time. He'll wait out, fish, and go in the boat as well. Like many folks in that part of the state. Still recovering from some hurricane damage.
What is that?
Wow, a split.
Uh-oh. Speaking of fish, look out, fish. Here comes the big hook, and that one goes right through the nose, leaving the 4-6. And all he wanted to do right about now was fill frames, marks.
Just to end it, right? Seems simple enough. Wow, 4-6 up, and leaves the 4-pin, so an open frame for Jason Hurd.
If Jason Hurd strike spares all the way out, he's going to shoot 213. Rick Lawrence can strike out to shoot 216.
Just like that, the lead just 27 pins now. Rick Lawrence has an opening. Another finished jersey see, the crawl, bottom of your screen, round of 32 on up. There's Chris Barnes, the local favorite, former Wichita State star. There's some help on number 10. Down she goes again.
Yeehaw! That's exactly what you need after a split. You got to get right back on the horse, Dave. Check this out. The same pin, that head pin, is going to come do a little dance. Here I come. Oh, get out of there.
Randy, just before that replay, we saw the name Kelly Bonta, bottom of your screen. A local amateur defeated Walter A. Williams Jr. in 4 straight games in the round of 64. What an upset that was.
Big upset.
And it's part of a big story here from Wichita, Kansas. Back to Lawrence.
Again, going with a big loft to try to get that ball to push down the lane. Lots of Wichita State alums that bowled this event. Tim Penner on a commissioner's exemption actually won his first match. Matt McFadden. You mentioned Chris Barnes, Lonnie Wallachek, Pat Healy Jr., Justin Romick, a former U.S. Open champion. Quick nugget on the matches early on in the week. Sean Evans was the qualifying leader who bowled back-to-back 300s at 300 and 299. In his match against Chris Barnes, Chris shoots back-to-back, or not back-to-back, but 2 300s in a 5-game match against him.
Much better ball for Lawrence. As we saw the other qualifiers, their finishers with the commissioner's exemption and with the amateurs. Kelly Bonta, by the way, is a local worker at a steel mill, and after going to work, got ready, showered up, came over here and beat Walter A. Williams Jr. in 4 straight games. Had a huge following at the bowling center that day.
Yeah, but you know, we don't want people to think that you can just walk off the street and beat Walter A. This guy Kelly Bonta is a good player.
Strike for Jason Hurd. He just needs 8 pins now to win this one. Looks for the turkey.
Nice bit of back end there. Takes advantage of the messenger in the 8th frame. Right now only needs 8 pins. Jason Hurd's going on to bowl Mike Edwards for the Pepsi Open title.
Saw him look to his left there as a fan actually walking back to her seat. Let's hope that doesn't distract him. Did not, thankfully. And he closes out the match.
No worries.
The streak is over. You talked to him about that before. Winning singles matches on TV, and he's finally done it.
But again, I think you got to give Rick a lot of credit for getting this far in the tournament on really a pattern that he doesn't like a whole lot. I mean, anytime you move a straight guy down and in player into the middle part of the lane, you know, they're going to struggle a little bit.
Blisters the rack. Jason Hurd last year, folks, his best finish. In 5th place, lost to Mike McTrue in a wild card match in Omaha to start our season. That was his best of last year. Now he's made 2 shows. He's on the verge of a title as well. He will face Mike Edwards in the championship match here today in Wichita.
He's off the schneid, and I think the most interesting matchup in the title match is that Mike Edwards is going to be going really straight and hard, and Jason Hurd is going to be playing the big hook.
Everybody in Titusville.
A lot of friends watching today at River Lanes in Titusville, his home center. Lawrence takes care of that mark. And that brings to a close a tremendous 2-week run for Rick Lawrence, who told us several times during the week he had to pinch himself. Did I just beat Walter A. Williams Jr. again on TV? Did it 99 here in Wichita? Did I win a title in St. Louis? Yes, he did. But he's still the same humble guy. Help out his friends with their motorhomes if they needed it throughout the week on repairs. And his week is over.
Put it out. Sorry.
Jason Hurd, Mike Edwards coming up in the finals. We can't wait. See who wins in Wichita this year.